The Goose-Girl at the Well. Once upon a time, in a little village, there lived a king's son who had been cursed by a wicked sorcerer. The prince had been turned into a weak and sickly man, wandering from place to place in search of a cure. One day, exhausted and weary, he arrived at a tiny cottage where a strange old woman lived. She had a sharp nose, twinkling eyes, and a voice that crackled like firewood. My, a royal visitor, she cackled. You look half dead, boy. Sit down before you fall down. The prince, too tired to protest, slumped onto a stool. I know what you seek, the old woman continued. A cure, yes? The prince's eyes lit up. Can you help me? The old woman smirked. Not me, but my geese might. The prince blinked. Geese? Not just any geese. The girl who tends them, she's special. And was that? She led the prince outside, where a young goose-girl sat by the well, surrounded by a flock of white geese. She was no ordinary girl. Her hair shimmered like gold. Her eyes sparkled like sunlight on water, and when she laughed, it sounded like bells ringing in the wind. She will lead you to what you seek, the old woman said. The prince agreed to stay and watch the mysterious girl. Day after day, the prince followed the goose-girl as she led her geese through meadows and forests, across bubbling brooks, and up rolling hills. She never complained, never frowned, and always found joy in the simplest things. When a fox tried to steal an egg, she giggled and scolded it like a naughty child. When the rain soaked her clothes, she danced in puddles instead of grumbling. Why do you do these things? The prince asked one evening as they sat by the well. The goose-girl shrugged. Because kindness makes the world brighter. The prince had never met someone so selfless and full of light. And as he spent time with her, something incredible happened. His sickness faded. His strength returned, his eyes shone, and his heart felt lighter. One morning, as the sun rose over the hills, he looked in the well and saw his reflection. Gone was a weak, cursed man. The prince had been restored. It was never magic that healed you, the old woman cackled behind him. It was kindness, laughter, and a heart full of joy. The prince turned to the goose-girl. Come with me to the palace. But the girl shook her head. I belong to the wild hills and the geese, she said softly. The prince's heart ached, but he nodded. Then at least let me give you this. He removed a golden ring from his finger and placed it in her hand. If ever you need me, bring this to the palace, and I will come. The goose-girl smiled, slipping the ring into her pocket. Years passed, and the prince ruled wisely and kindly, never forgetting the girl who had saved him. Then, one autumn morning, a familiar laugh echoed through the palace gates. The prince rushed outside, and there she stood, the goose-girl, her golden hair gleaming in the sun. I thought I would visit, she grinned. And this time, she stayed. Thank you for reading the story with me. Please subscribe Olivia's Storybook Corner for more fantastic stories. Bye-bye.